Okay, then we'll have a short look on the Incoterms. In our case, we had information on Incoterms, so they were intend to use C clauses. It was, as far as I think, CPT or CIP. So what do we know so far? There are 11 Incoterms on the actual version available, and they obviously have chosen have to choose that's it, have to choose C clauses for any mode of transportation. We have also a C clause, two C clauses, but they are only linked to sea transport. So what is the first information we have on Incoterm? They differ. We have clauses that are foreseen for sea transportations, for the specifics of sea transportation, when goes the risk over, and we have Incoterms that can be used for any kind, for any mode of transport, including sea transport. And there are they are more in a more broad, it can be used in a more broad manner. So Incoterms are used almost on in every contract in the trade of goods, in the international trade of goods, but they are often not used in a very reflected manner. And there are some basic ideas that at least should be considered if you deal with Incoterms. So, is there an obligation to use Incoterms? No, no. Nevertheless, they are used. They're sort of standard. If what is the purpose of these Incoterms? So there are standardized clauses with sales in a sales contract, and only in a sales contract of goods, clarifying the delivery terms: cost, risk, responsibility. They are based on certainly they are provided by the International Chamber of Commerce. It's very likely now we have the Incoterms 2020. 2030 will probably be the next issue. They are negotiable. You can change them. You could change them. Better not, but you could. And one big advantage is that these Incoterms are available in languages, so you don't need to translate. Everybody understands and has a clear information what is my obligation, what is the obligation of the buyer, what is the obligation of the seller. It's easy. That's one reason why it's used. What does it mean, cost, risk? And I want to draw your attention to the named place, which often misses in this case. Transfer of risk. Where exactly is the point where the risk of loss or damage goes from the seller to the buyer? This is one core issue of the Incoterms. So the good ship sinks, whatever. Who has the problem? Who is in charge of it? Who has the risk? If the risk, if the point, the transfer of risk has happened, and it's the problem of the buyer, the seller has to receive the money, because the transfer of risk has gone over from the seller to the buyer. Same with the costs. What is included in the price? Is the transportation included? Is it documentation, cost of documentation included or not? To which point, where is the risk? What is included in the pricing, and what are additional costs to be borne by the buyer? To define these, especially the first one, it's very important to localize it, to have a named place. Often this is forgotten. So that companies say, yes, we think it's great to have a CPT. Where shall this transfer of risk or transfer of cost take place? So normally there is no problem because there is no damage, there's no loss. If there's no problem, it doesn't matter that you don't mention the named place, certainly, because you have no problem. You have not to discuss where it is. But this provides this the Incoterms take care for problems. And if they take place, it is comparatively clear who is in charge of what and who has to do what. So the named place is especially important for if there are problems, loss, damage. The transfer of costs is normal. It's always a question because who has to deal with the freight forwarder or whatever, and that's the second point. So the main idea is that it improves or increases the efficiency of international trade because you don't have to discuss all these issues. There are standardized clauses, all these questions, who has to do what, is ready for the seller and the buyer. That's it. And if you deal with it, or if the clients deal with it, or if you want to recommend them Incoterms or have questions on that, you need to have the book or the app of the ICC because there are the detailed information on that, on the main issues and on the additional provisions. Who arranges the transportation? Very important question, certainly. At which stage is the main transportation, the transportation to the main transportation, from the main transport? Is there insurance necessary? If there's an I in the clause, then we have a certain kind of insurance. What insurance? What amount? Who has to do with the customs clearance? Who does it? Who has the problem, or who has the problem if customs doesn't work the way they should? If there is a delay on for example, the customs offices, who is the problem? Who is late, or the delivery is late? Who has to pay for this? Probably. This is also a question that is solved by the Incoterms. And yes, the mode of transport, the kind of packaging, all these questions are here. And that's really important to especially if companies for the first time go to international trade. It's simply a difference if we have a problem within the European Union or a national problem. This can be solved. In international trade, it's difficult and costly to solve this, and therefore we need clear arrangements, and that's the purpose of the Incoterms. So please have a look on the details, on the additional provisions, and always take this and explain it to the customers, and insist on the named place. Where does this take place?